So we're back with finance when we are going to use this as an example for loans. This house, it's a house for sale in Cosmo City, Randburg, Johannesburg. 385,000 Rand is the cost if you were to buy it for cash. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. It doesn't have a garage. And this is what they say about it. It says perfect home for the first-time buyer, close to shops and schools, newly painted and tile floors, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. The loan conditions when financed through the Standard Bank are: you pay a deposit of 10%. The loan length is 25 years. Monthly repayments are 3,270. And the total cost at the end of the loan period is 981,000 Rand. So we are going to define a few of these terms. A deposit. What is a deposit? So loans often come with a requirement for a deposit, and a deposit is an amount that must be paid upfront before the loan is granted. It is often stipulated as a percentage of the loan amount. As you can see here, it's 10%. The deposit is almost like a promise to repay the rest of the loan, because the bank or the person that's lending you the money wants to see that you actually can repay this amount. For example, when we look at this house, it says the deposit amount is 10%, and 10% of 385,000 Rand is 38,500. So you have to put 38,500 Rand down if you want Standard Bank to give you this loan. So the loan amount is going to be the difference between the price of the house and the 10% deposit. So the loan amount is going to be 90% of the 385,000. So how you can work it out, what the loan amount is by working out 10%, which is 38,500, and subtracting it from 385,000. So the loan amount is 346,500. Or an easier way, how I would do it is, I know that the loan amount is going to be 90%, so you go 385,000 times 90% or times 0.9, it's going to give you 346,500. And then the interest rate. Most banks charge interest on a loan. I'm saying most banks because some banks don't. Well, a few that follow Sharia law, which is for Muslims. But most banks that we know, like Standard Bank, FNB, all those banks, they'll charge interest on a loan. This means that the total paid back for the loan is always more than the original loan amount. It's like a fee that the bank or money lender charges for lending you money. The amount of interest charge is determined by the interest rate. It's expressed as a percentage. For example, 12.5. The prime interest rate is a benchmark rate set by the Reserve Bank of South Africa. You'll hear from time to time on the news where they say, okay, the prime interest rate is going to go up or go down. And when they say that, it means that for your loan as well, the loan interest rate is going to go either up or down because it's pegged to the prime interest rates. So banks use this as a guideline for deciding on the rate to charge customers. So when this book was printed, this was April 2012, and the prime interest rate was 9%. So an interest rate of prime plus 1.5% as given in figure 3.5, which one's big figure? Oh, interest rate. I didn't put the interest rate here, but the interest rate that you'd be charged by Standard Bank is prime plus 1.5%. So it would have been prime of 9% plus 1.5%, which is equal to 10.5%. The loan length is also called the period or life of the loan. It refers to how much time a person has to pay back the loan. The standard loan length options on a car loan include 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 years. And I think some loans now go up to 7 years for cars. On a home loan, there's an option of 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. I remember when my mother bought her house in 1989, and her period was 30 years, but she paid it off before that. For this house that we have, the loan period, I think, is 20 years. Yeah. Monthly repayments. These are the monthly repayments here. Monthly repayment is an amount of money that must be paid back to the bank or lender every month for the whole life of the loan. This repayment is calculated so that it includes an interest component. When all repayments have been paid, then the total loan plus interest have been paid back. The size of the repayment on a loan depend on certain criteria. It depends on the loan size, the loan length, and the interest rate. So yeah, and you'll see that this monthly repayment is varies depending on the interest rate, because when the prime interest rate changes, that your interest rate is going to change as well, because you are quoted as prime plus or prime minus. It's never as like one rate for all of the period. One method of determining monthly repayments is equal to monthly repayments equals loan amount divided by 1,000 times factor. So what's the factor? The factor is a value that shows what the repayment value will be for every 1,000 Rand of money borrowed. And factors depend on the length of the loan and the interest rates. For example, here you see that if for every 1,000 Rand of the loan, if your interest rate is 8% and you're paying it over 5 years, you are going to pay 20 Rand 28 for every 1,000 Rand per month. You see when that as the interest rate gets larger and larger, the repayment gets larger and larger. At 8% in 5 years, then it's 20 Rand at 8%, but at 13% it's 22 Rand 75. Oh, this is 25 years, not 26 years, sorry. I made a mistake here. So, and then you see the longer you take to repay the loan, the less the less the installments. So, if you can pay over 25 years, the interest rate is 8%, it's going to be, you're going to pay 7 Rand 72 per 1,000 Rand instead of 20 Rand 28 per 1,000 Rand. And then at 13%, you're going to pay 11 Rand 28 per 1,000 Rand instead of 22 Rand 75 per 1,000 Rand. It's like half. But why is it that 5 years is not half of 26 years? So what happens is that when you take longer to repay a loan, the installments are less, but you pay more interest, not in the interest rate, but you pay more interest at the end of the period. That is why what you have to think about: will you sacrifice and pay more for a few years, or will you rather pay less per month but pay more total interest at the end? The loan amount is the size of the loan, so we divide the loan amount by 1,000 to get the number of thousands, i.e. In the loan. i.e. in 200,000 Rand, there are 200,000. Let's go and have and work out how to solve these things. Stop this. So let's consider that Cosmos City house shown in the advert that I showed you on the first slide. It says the total loan amount. So do you remember what I said? How do you calculate the total loan amount? The total loan amount is going to be the house price minus the deposit, because they are not lending you the whole amount. They wanted you to pay a deposit of 10%. So for this example, the house price is 385,000 Rand, and then minus the deposit, which is 38,500, which means the loan amount is. So be careful here when there's a deposit and they want you to calculate something. Subtract the deposit. 346,500 is the loan amount. So the interest rate, let me delete this. The interest rate, we said the interest rate is prime plus 1.5, and prime at that time was 9%, and 9 plus 1.5 is 10.5. So your interest rate is equals 10.5%. The loan length is 25 years, over 20. So this is over 25 years. So if we go back to the factor values, if you go to 25, so it's 25 years and it's 10.5%. 25 years, 10.5. No, this is wrong. 10.5 is 9 Rand 44 per thousand. So the factor is 9.44. Over 25 years, and then the factor value from that table that I just showed you is 9.44. So for every 1,000, I'm paying 9 Rand 44. So the monthly repayments will be equal to the loan amount divided by 1,000, because it's per 1,000, right? Times the factor of 9.44. So what's the what is the loan amount? The loan amount, remember, is 346,500. It's not 385,000. It's 346,500. You divide it by 1,000. You divide it by 1,000 and multiply by 9.44, which is 3,270 Rand 96 per month. This is very close to the advert, as you can see, but the advert has rounded it off to 3,270. We're now going to determine the real cost of the loan. So what's the real cost of the loan? Let's do this. Real cost of the loan. So the real cost of the loan refers to the total amount that will be paid for the loan over the whole life of the loan, and the life of the loan is 25 years. The real cost is determined by adding together all repayments made on the loan Here's how you calculate the real cost. So the real cost equals monthly repayment amount multiplied by the number of repayments made. So how I would do it is monthly repayments are 3,270.96. Let's be as accurate as possible, times 12, because you pay monthly, times 25 years. How much is that? Let's use our calculator. It is 3,270.96 times 12 times 25 years. That is 981,288. And in the advert it says 981,000, because do you see how the 96 cents made such a big difference, because they rounded off there. That is the real cost of the loan. And then the interest paid. So to work out what the interest paid, we've now worked out the loan amount, which is the house price. The house price minus the deposit. We then worked out the monthly repayments using those factors by taking the loan amount of 346,500, dividing it by 1,000 times the factor from the table. It makes it so much easier to calculate this thing. And then we got 3,270.96. And then for the real cost of the loan, we would take the monthly repayments times number of repayments made. The number of repayments made are the 12 times the number of years. So 12 times 25, and then times the monthly repayments, and we found out that there's 981,288. So now we want to work out the interest paid on the loan, not the interest rate, but the interest paid on the loan. So how are we going to work that out? So the interest paid, here's the formula. It's going to be interest paid is equal to real cost minus the original loan amount. So I'm going to use the 981,288, and then minus the 346,500. So the interest paid over the life of the loan is 981,208 minus 346,500, which is 634,788 rand. That's the amount of interest you've paid at the end of the life of the loan. So let's see what happens. So now what I need you to do is to do the example, the exercises that I'm going to link to this video. Look in the description box. I'm going to link some exercises. Please do them, and the ones that are sent to you on WhatsApp. Please do them, and then if you have any questions or any problems, please let me know. Another worked example is